Absolute Radio is where you can hear Prince, Mumford and Sons,
I will wait for you,
and The Killers.
Can you read my mind?
Absolute Radio.
Where real music matters.
Absolute Radio is the home of rock and roll football. Barclays Premier League football commentary every Saturday afternoon.
Web access.
Terms apply. Calls to mobiles and landlines starting 010203. Last 30 days.
So here's the point. I need cab drivers or tourist thieves, as I like to call them, to call up, please. 0330 123 1215. Because Eloise and I have been out and we've had a marvellous evening seeing the 90s pop group E17. They were brilliant. We went with Claudia, who was a listener. We've made our first dream come true. She was absolutely bonkers, but delightful. Anyway, we saw some of the concert and we had to leave at about 10:15 to get back to the studio. So we jumped in a black cab. Now, for those of you who know London, it's from the Angel to Golden Square. It's not that far. It cost me 18 quid. And when we got in the black cab, he did a little bit of finger magic. He did that thing. You know, they've got the meter, right? And then you've got the tariff that you're on. And he changed it to tariff 3. Now, that's the most expensive tariff, isn't it? And they've done this with me before. Black cab drivers, and you can, if you don't want to use your real names because you're ashamed of your job, we can change your name. Is it just because he recognised me from the telly? Was he ripping me off? Why, at 10:15, with two young people, steady, would you change the tariff to the most expensive tariff going? We didn't have any bags, we didn't have any luggage, we weren't Japanese. What was going on? 0330 123 1215. Black cab drivers, right? Your day has come. Okay, you get all these special rights and you think you're public. You're not public transport. You're not public transport. You are a luxury. A luxury that is only afforded by the rich and people with business accounts. I was in the cab and I said to Eloise, I don't get black cabs very often. The last time was when I had to make a dash from the Monkees concert here. So I don't get them very often. And I was thinking, I wonder why I don't get them very often. And then it dawned on me when we jumped out the cab, after being in it for about 6 minutes, and it was 18 quid. And then, here's the rub, Bernard, and this proves that they are corrupt and break the law. I said, can I have a receipt for that, please? He went, do you want a couple of blank ones? That's illegal, isn't it? That's illegal, isn't it? To give a punter some blank... What are you going to do with blank receipts? Well, you're going to fill in fake amounts. You're going to fraudulently claim money. So this cab driver was not only ripping me off, he was potentially ripping my bosses off, although I paid for that cab, and he's ripping the taxman off. 0330 123 1215. Black cab drivers, you've got another thing coming.
Iain Lee on Absolute Radio.
I have been in cabs all around the world. Right. Yellow cabs in New York, the cabs in Japan, China, Greece, and even in Greece, a country that is financially corrupt. Okay, there's a reason Greece is screwed. Because everything is cash in hand, there are no receipts. Here's a true story. If you owe, say, like 15,000 euros tax, right, the tax man can come round and says, you owe 15,000 euros tax, but if you pay me 2,000 euros, we can get that bill down to about 4,000 euros. That happens. That genuinely happens. That's why Greece is screwed. Even in Greece, the cab drivers are more trustworthy and less corrupt than the black cab drivers in this country. In New York, right, I was there with my mum years ago. My mum, my sister, her husband, Dylan, who was a baby at the time, and my mum's in a wheelchair. And me and my mum got a cab, yellow cab, And the guy couldn't be nicer. They don't have the big cab so you can get a wheelchair in there and stuff, but he helped lift my mum into the cab, put her wheelchair in the boot, took us where we wanted, got it a bit wrong, so he turned the meter off and said, I'm sorry, guys, I've got it wrong, but I won't charge you any more. Took us to where we were going, got us out, made sure we were okay, gave us his card in case we needed him anymore. Wallop. You wouldn't get that here. You wouldn't get that here. The look, when I flagged this cab over tonight, the look of disgust on his face when I asked if we could go to Golden Square, because he obviously didn't want to go that way. He looked at me like I was a piece of dirt. Do I have to? Yeah, you do have to, because there's the 12-mile rule, or whatever it is. And also it's common decency. 0330 123 1215. And have you noticed, and this is definitely in London, and I've seen this, the black cab drivers will phone up and say, well, there's always a couple of bad apples. You get bad radio presenters, it don't mean you're all bad. Have you noticed that there are a significant number of black cab drivers who supposedly have done the knowledge, but use sat-navs? Have you seen that? They use sat-navs. Well, I can drive my way around London with a sat-nav. You know, that's easy. There's no skill in that. There's no riding around on the back of a moped for 6 years required to turn on a tom-tom and type in a postcode. 0330 123 1215. It will be hard for anyone to defend these people. If you want to have a go, please have a go. Why would they put the tariff onto to the third band? 0330 123 1215. I've had too much Coca-Cola and I'm a little bit windy, Pops, now. Let's see. Right, let's do these in the order they came in. Steve!
Hello, mate. How you going?
Steve, is that a real voice you've got?
Yeah, a bit horrible.
It is. It's disgusting.
It's the most horrible speaking voice. Believe it or not, I'm a singer.
Shut up, are you? You sound like a sex criminal. Turn your radio off, you muppet.
I see why I rang you, know.
Steve, turn your radio off.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm right by it. That's right.
I know, I can hear it.
Sound about.
Here we go.
All right. Yeah. It was about 1988, and I got in the cab with this girl and mucking about, which I always do.
Oh,
I made out I was American.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we're coming from Gloucester Road to Paddington. So I've gone, it's this Gloucester Road Avenue, and then we turned into Notting Hill. It's this Notting Hill Avenue, and the cabbie's laughing. I see him mucking about with the meter.
Oh, yeah.
So as we got the Queensway, it's this Queensway Avenue. That jersey cost us 18 quid.
Really?
About Taylor Swift. Yeah. Unbelievable.
And woe betide you, Steve, if you don't give them a tip.
I always give them a tip.
Well, if you don't give them a tip, they look at you like you're a piece of poo.
Yeah, but I always do give them a tip.
I always give them a tip because I always give them a tip. And the thing as well, you're thinking, this is cash in hand. Do you know what I mean? How much of that is declared?
Oh, blimey, who could check on it?
Well, exactly, who can? They got a big bag full of notes and coins. Who's going to check on it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, you know, I must see you something else.
Yeah.
In that same year,
Yeah.
I gave a cabbie 50 quid
Yeah.
to go and get me a Hoover from Argos.
Sorry?
Yeah?
What?
And the optic.
Well, of course he did. Why would you get a black cab to go and buy you a Hoover from Argos? You deserve that, Steve.
It wasn't for me, it was for someone I was working for.
Well, in that case.
But another night,
I'm on the cabbie
when I
side,
lived in Maid of Vale,
Yeah.
which was 84,
Yeah.
I got a cab to work. I used to play in this place called Wichita's on the corner of Earls Court Road.
Yeah.
Got there, a man told me they shut for the night.
Oh.
And I said to the cabbie, oh, God, I haven't got the fare. I said, look, give me your number. Do you know what? He took me back home to Maid of Vale.
Well, there you go. There are good apples in every barrel. Hey, I wonder if it's true, right? Because you always hear stories of sexy ladies or prostitutes when they're unable to pay the fare, offering the cab driver a bit of a tip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little flash of booby, little touch, little, bit. I wonder if that's ever actually happened or if that's an urban myth.
Well, I had a mate, he's just died, and he was 85, and he was always a cabbie.
Yeah.
And he said to me that he always earned a good living. He never earned his own cab. He never owned his own cab.
Yeah.
And he said that in the 50s and 60s, he used to drive them about and they'd have a bunk up in the back.
Nice little bunk up in the back of a cab.
Yeah, the prostitutes.
Thank you very much, Steve. Nice little bunk up in the back of a cab with a prostitute. Paul Franklin, good evening, sir.
Hello, Ian. How you doing?
I'm a bit deaf tonight, Paul. We just been to see East 17, who I have to say were superb. They're not my cup of tea, but they were brilliant. But it was very, very loud, and I'm completely deaf now.
Where was that on?
At the O2 Academy in Islington.
Oh, right, yeah. Good venue, is it?
It's a nice little venue. Yeah, it was good, and there was a nice mix of people, and they you know...
We're going to see the Jam there next week. The Jam are on there next week, the tribute band.
Oh, well, then you're... Is this a tribute band with two members of the Jam in?
I don't know. I've just seen it advertised, and a friend of mine's on every birthday, so I'm going to tag along there. I think there's like the other two, Bruce Foxton and Terry Pratchett, whatever the other one is, are in there. Oh, right. Have to look into it.
It's a good little venue. It's a nice size. You'll have a good time.
Good. And when I come out there, I'll be definitely getting into a black cab, because we cannot tamper with these tariffs, mate.
What do you mean you cannot tamper with the tariffs?
You cannot change the tariff. The tariff changes on its own at 10 o'clock at night, and there's nothing else the driver can do about it. You can only press one button, which turns it on. He can put extras on, but
Okay, so
the cab driver didn't put any extras on, though, did he?
So you're a black cab driver, Paul. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right, don't try and come in a little Trojan horse here and sneak in under the radar. So what should be... Okay, so at 10 o'clock, tariff number 3 comes on.
That's right, till 6 a.m. in the morning.
And what should the starting fare be?
£2.20. What was the starting fare on yours?
I will give him that then. In that case, he did no shenanigans. But in that case, that's...
How many passengers was there? 3 passengers?
2 passengers.
You and one other person?
Me and one other person.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? £9 each to get
get stuffed. That is taking the mick, mate. 18
I got on the
quid.
tube the other day. It cost me £6.50.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, you can get on the tube all day for £6.50. 18 quid to go 2 miles. You are having a laugh.
And all the way down to West End as well, around that one-way system, man. So I think that driver done it really well for £18.
Of course you think he did, because you're all in this together. You're all ganging up on the Japanese tourists and the Americans and the good people of London and trying to steal their money. It was a ridiculous fare.
Oh, no, Ian, come on.
No.
You got to pay them out a decent rate to work at this time of night. Put up with all the drunks, all the people coming out of concerts at night.
Go and get another job. Go, if you can't handle it...
we can handle it.
Well, then, and you're making an absolute bloody fortune.
No. It's unsocial hours, mate, working this time of night, isn't it? Well, you should know.
It is unsocial hours. I'm making a fortune.
Yeah.
But mine is all taxed. All my money's taxed.
So is ours.
Get out of it.
You tax as well.
Paul, come on.
And meters can be checked. We have little SIM cards inside them, but they can be checked.
And how often are they checked, Paul?
I don't know.
Exactly. So when was yours last checked?
But also as well, a lot of cab drivers on radio circuits, so that money gets paid straight into the bank account. So that is declarable.
No, that's why they don't like those gigs.
No,
they want the cash. They want the cash gigs.
Love the radio circuits.
They want the cash gigs.
The radio circuits where we take staff home at night, they're a lot better than taking drunks off of the street and things like that. And a lot of drivers, they just work by the radio circuits. It's a lot better class of work.
What about him giving me 2 blank receipts?
I didn't hear that bit. I was just on the phone to you. So you give you 2 blank receipts?
He gave me 2 blank receipts.
What, knowingly?
Yes.
Did he charge you anything for them?
He said, "Do you want blank? Do you want a couple?" I said, "Can I get a receipt for this, please?" He goes, "Do you want a couple of blank ones?" I went, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Oh, right, yeah, no, that's not on. He shouldn't be doing that.
I'm guessing that's illegal.
It is illegal, yeah. And
now,
did he have any printed receipts with his badge number on or anything like, or a radio circuit that he was connected to?
I have no idea if he was connected to a radio circuit, Paul. You well know I don't know that. I don't even know what that means.
Did you get his little badge, his plate number off in the back of the cab so you can report him?
No, of course I didn't get the brake number off.
Because the people like that do need to be reported. If they're doing things wrong, then they do need to be reported.
And what is it with you lot? And I know, the thing is, I'm going to get a load of cabbies phone up going, well, it ain't me that does this. It never is. But what is it with you lot having a right cob on if you don't get a tip?
Oh, I don't have a comment if I don't get a tip.
Oh, get lost. Paul Franklin, for goodness sakes. Nice to speak to you, Paul. Thank you for calling. 0330 123 1215. They do. If you've been in a black cab and you don't give a tip, they get a cob on, don't they? If you're outside of London, is it the same in Manchester and Liverpool and Newcastle?
Holly came from from Miami, FLA.
Is so full of a flavor.
Nice work if you can get it.
Papa.
When Senor told me all day.
You get the idea. In the Absolute Radio. It would appear that the level of argument that this topic, and this question, it's just a question, black cab drivers, are they everything that's wrong with this country? 0330 123 1215. It's started an argument on Twitter, at Iain Lee. Rhino SRN. Being very abusive. Now, we can do this in a friendly way, can't we, people? It doesn't need to be abusive. He writes, you can't just tube when you change the tariff, you TWAT. It's automatic. As for sat-navs, grow up tit. I don't know what that means, so I wrote back to say to him, what did I write? Stop being so rude, I don't get your second point. He replies, not everyone walks around with a postcode for starters, and it's an aid if you choose to use one, that's all. Stop slagging off cabbies. I then told him to call in or F off. He was getting on my nerves. His argument doesn't make any sense at all. I don't quite know what his point is. Surely, if you have done the knowledge, you don't need a sat-nav. And sat-navs, as we all know, do not send you the best route. They don't. It's a fact. They don't send you the best route. So if you're being paid to get someone from A to B in the quickest way, using a sat-nav is not going to be working in the favour of the customer. It's going to be working in the favour of the driver because it's going to take you a longer way, a slower way. That's all I'm saying. Right, you want to argue on Twitter like a 15-year-old schoolgirl, that's great, but I'm prepared to do this in a mature way. Speaking of maturity, it's Eloise Carr, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Did you enjoy the E17ers?
Oh, I loved it.
It was good, wasn't it?
I wanted to stay. I wish I could have called in sick.
I know. I was kind of tempted to just phone up Mark Crosby and say, look, come on, mate. Come on, bend a little bit. Claudia texted me when they were doing Rain, a song called Rain.
That's the one I wanted.
Yeah, they were doing that. And they also...
Love rain down on me.
Stay Another Day. Did all that. We missed all that.
Oh.
We met Claudia, who's a listener. And it's very rare. Occasionally we'll go out and we'll do things with listeners, like the football match, or we'll invite people in to the studio. But it's always like me and Eloise and groups of listeners. It's never, I don't think, a one-on-one or a two-on-one with the listener. It was a bit weird. She was bonkers, wasn't she?
I think that she just wanted us to like her.
Yeah, and I did like her. She was very, very likeable, very nice, but absolutely bonkers.
Good boobs.
I didn't notice. Were they?
She even did a little flash for us.
I missed the flash.
I think you turned away in the nick of time.
Well, we met a bonkers woman before who thought I was Ian Beale from EastEnders.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Haven't you grown up?
It's going to be on Shepherd's Pie next week.
And me and her singing a weird song together.
Yeah.
And she was going, you're so much taller in real life. And I said,
cakes or something.
Baby cakes or something. And I said, in EastEnders, they make me walk in a ditch, so I look smaller than everyone else.
And they dyed your hair.
And they dyed my hair. Very strange. It was a good night.
It was hilarious.
I'm going to try and get E17 to come in here and do like an acoustic set. I know all the hardcore Killers and Kings of Leon fans are going, oh no, don't get those idiots in. Up yours. It's my show. Do what I want. And I quite like. I'm not an E17 fan, but I enjoyed tonight. I thought it was a good little concert.
They're good at their harmonies.
They are good at their harmonies. And Tony Mortimer, who I'm going to cultivate as my new best friend, was doing like charity records
holding the headphones.
Got his finger in his ear, eyes closed, like he's getting a BJ, and he's singing the harmony.
He was doing some funny faces. But the most amazing thing, I forgot that they rapped in their songs.
They did a lot of rapping.
And they even make this noise. Freaky fresh in one of them.
Didn't he do the thing where he was pretending to mix a record as well? He did that.
It was amazing. I'm going to learn those raps.
Yeah, let's learn the East 17 raps.
Yeah.
And then when they come in, we'll do them.
You tried to make me dance for him last time.
It's like when my wife did the rap, did the one day rap to Bare Naked Ladies, and they just sat there going.
You've never mentioned that, you know.
That it was my wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it was a different...
it was my wife. Okay, the cat's out of the bag. It was my wife doing it. And we had to pretend it wasn't because at the time she was working for the BBC. And she was also very, very nervous. 0330 123 1215. Let's go to Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Mr. Jamie.
Another cab driver here, mate.
I could tell that by the tone of your voice and the way you call me Mr. Lee. I'm expecting a right royal rollicking here.
As I said to Eloise earlier on, I think £15 from the Angel to Golden Square would be quite reasonable. £18, okay, fair enough. But what you got to look at is Soho's a bit of a no-go. Well, not a no-go area, but there's a lot of road closures around there, and it makes it pretty difficult to get to Golden Square without going down, say, like Shaftesbury Avenue or cutting through like Oxford Street.
Now, already, Jamie, I like you because you've got the knowledge. You're telling me all the different routes and all the well, you don't go down Shaftesbury, and that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, and I don't use a sat nav as well.
Well, listen, already you've got my respect. You've seen black cab drivers doing the sat navs. This guy Rhino on Twitter, he's taking the mick. It's an age, like a map.
Well, the thing is, this is a bit of another subject entirely, really. A few years ago, when Ken Livingstone was the mayor, he wanted to speed up the knowledge, and he wanted knowledge students to only learn a certain amount of the knowledge, and then after a while, they want to do the whole knowledge, like everyone else, like most of us have done, and they would put a sat nav in their cab. So that's just coming into play now. Like that's coming to fruition.
It shouldn't be. Take the sat
navs
out.
No. It shouldn't be. No, I mean, I do know cab drivers that use sat navs, but they only use it when they're going out of central London.
That's if they bother to go out. The number of times I've tried to get a cab to Muswell Hill, I haven't done it for years, right? Because I can't afford cabs anymore, and I'm doing all right, and I can't afford cabs, right? But the number of times I remember trying to get cabs in from Tottenham Court Road to Muswell Hill. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, mate, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you can, and you have to.
I mean, there are cabbies that we all know there are cabbies out there that, they only want to go somewhere where if it's near their house.
Years ago, I
am one of those cab drivers that will just go anywhere.
Oh, this is the thing is, all of you cab drivers, when you phone up, say, it's not me, Governor. Years ago, right, when I was earning TV money, I got a black cab from Heathrow Airport to Highgate, where I was living at the time, right? Okay. And as we got to Oxford Street, and I don't know why he was going via Oxford Street, he started making the cab judder, and he went, oh, no, there's something wrong with the engine. I'm going to have to take it to Shepherd's Bush to get it looked at. Sorry, mate, I'm going to have to kick you out here. And so there's me with a big suitcase, being all dumb and stupid, going, oh, all right, mate, I hope you get your cab sorted out. And I got out and I gave him a tip, and I'm stuck in Oxford Street. And I thought, he's having a laugh. And he didn't drive to Shepherd's Bush. He drove off down Oxford Street to go and get a load of fares in central London. Cheeky git.
He probably went to go and get an AM roll or something.
Exactly. And another reason I hate you, Jamie.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Not you personally.
I don't hate you.
No, not you personally.
I think you're quite a good radio presenter. You keep me entertained for 2 hours every night.
I like you as well, but I'm talking about your kind, right?
Go on, mate.
Is you get to use those little green huts.
Yep.
I want to use. I want to see what's inside those little green huts.
I'll tell you what, them little green huts are like TARDISes. When you look inside it, you can't believe the amount of room you've got in there.
And what goes on in there? Is like sex parties? What happens?
Occasionally. But it's only with a dinner girl, so it's not much cop, really, to be honest.
Seriously, man. I'm jealous of the little green huts, Jamie.
Yeah, no, so the public can use them.
What, really? You're allowed to go in there?
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know about sit in there.
It's like a private club for cabbies.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Freemasons in there is.
Ever been paid by a flash of the boob or sex?
No. But I have gone out on a couple of dates with a couple of girls that I have picked up in the back.
Have you? How do you chat up someone in the back of your cab?
I don't really do the chatting, Ian, to be honest. They sort of chat me up, really. That's the truth. That is God's honest truth.
Jamie?
Yes, mate?
I like you. You're one of the good cab drivers. You can stay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Nice talk to you, fella. Take care.
Cheers. Have a good evening.
0330 123 1215. Black cabs. Surely there are everything that's wrong with this country, aren't they?
Is it me? Is it you? Is it...
I've just remembered, Lindsay Buckingham tickets go on sale tomorrow.
No, don't talk about it because...
I've dumped it.
Good.
I dumped what I was talking about. We want the tour of a pop singer to go very badly because he'll only do press if he doesn't sell any tickets.
Exactly.
So, I wasn't talking about nothing to see here, nothing, go away.
Yeah.
But I'll be up at 9 o'clock. Get mine. I was going to say something. Oh, by the way, don't forget, tomorrow night you can come and see myself and Dougie Anderson at the Camden Head in Camden, 7:30, clip joint, £4, showing clips of things, and we'll also have Iain Morris, who is one of the co-creators of The In-Betweeners, showing clips of things as well. It's £4. What more do you want for £4, Barry?
Well, for a tenner, you could come and see my show at the 100 Club on the 6th of October.
Yes, but first things first, Barry, my show tomorrow night, Clip Joint, it is in Time Out, and you can find it on the internet, at the Camden Head, is on first, and tickets have sold, if I'm honest, Barry, very, very poorly.
Yours has sold poorly?
Poorly.
To be honest, so is mine.
Well, but yours isn't until the October the 6th, and I've not said whether I can do it or not. And if I do say I can do it, then, man, those tickets are going to be snapped up, aren't they?
I've not put your name on the publicity in case you can't do it.
I might be doing a charity event that night.
But still speaking,
Sorry,
anyone
but I was talking about charity, which is always more important than your
Oh,
pathetic
sorry.
words, yes.
We might have a whip round for the people with something, but if... I thought I'd say something, but probably best not, because you'll only get complaints.
Terribly offensive, yes. Although a lot of those people can't use phones.
Yeah, that's true. So just to recap, that's the 6th of October. Please come, 100 Club. I've got some wonderful guests.
Hang on a minute. I cannot let you advertise the 6th of October until I have done my show tomorrow night at the Camden Head with Dougie Anderson and Iain Morris. I don't know if you know Iain Morris, Barry.
Never heard of him.
He created The In-Betweeners. Very funny man.
That's it.
Yep.
The In-Betweeners. If you like filthy language and young people talking about sexual intercourse, I'm sure it's very humorous.
And also, before October the 6th, we're going to have another Set the Agenda on October the 2nd, and we've got a cracking lineup
Well,
for that.
hold on. Don't confuse the issue.
Well, no, but we've got a cracking lineup. Josie Long, John Archer, the Segway Sisters, cracking lineup.
Do you want me to do any... No, could come along.
Probably full up vax.
No, if you joke.
A bit disappointing. You'd say, Matt, you've done twice there already. Done that already, and I'm guessing you'll be doing that on October the 6th as well.
Yes, I will. Anyway.
Yes.
Cab drivers.
Cab drivers. And can I just say, dear listener, when I say black cab drivers, I don't mean black people driving cabs. I mean the drivers of the black cabs. A lot of people have got confused.
Hackney carriage.
The hackney carriage. They're allowed, I think dating back to the olden days, they're allowed to do a poo up the exhaust or something like that. I think it's something like that, and the policeman can't stop them.
That's what I heard. You do a poo up the exhaust.
Yes.
And that's what defines it as... that's a Shatney carriage. Shatney carriage. Hello? Anyway.
Is this on? Yes.
Are we still on?
Hello.
Anyway, I caught a cab last night, and if you're listening, Watford Borough Council, I get a cab outside Watford Junction Station, a tenner to the Villiers pub, which anyone who has visited Watford will know it's not that far away.
Yes.
And when I get into the cab, dear Hackney carriage drivers, whether you've done a poo up the exhaust or not, maybe that's preferable to discuss your defecating habits rather than the licensing laws on where you can park your cab vis-à-vis the station. I'm not interested in that.
No.
When I say, have you had a busy night, I don't really want a long answer. I'm making what we like to call conversation.
Can I tell you, Barry, we're in the back of the cab tonight, and I was saying to Eloise, this is expensive, but I noticed that the red light was on, which means he can hear. He's got the intercom on, right? So he can hear what's being said.
That's it.
I couldn't find... I'm not finished. I couldn't find the switch to turn the intercom off. So he was basically... He was doing a News of the World on me. He was doing a Murdoch on me.
He was here wicked. I'll tell you what, he probably recognised you from the telly 15, 20 years ago.
I was on this morning. I was on this morning.
Recollection.
I was on this morning, actually, Barry. So I was speaking to Stephen Mulhern. So I've been hobnobbing.
Oh, Stephen Mulhern.
Yep.
Well, he probably thought you had the latest news on the loose women or something like that. What were you saying? Was it scurrilous?
I was actually being reflective about the anniversary of 9/11. And I was talking about lighter stories such as George Osborne making a joke about masturbation.
And were you in the cab with Eloise discussing that?
No, that was on this morning.
Oh, but no, I was talking about what in the back of the cab. What was he listening to?
Well, he was listening to us talking about how expensive his cab journey was.
Oh, well, there you are. That's probably why it bumped up the price.
Yes.
Did you say anything nasty about him? Did he take any tight corners, or...?
Well, I did. I was a little bit racist, and I noticed that the fee dropped down a little bit. Suddenly a couple of pounds came off, so...
There are just a few buzzwords you have to throw in. Fabio Capello. There's two. Immigration. And you get maybe 10, 20 pence off for emigration. Nick Griffin. Coloured. Oh, hello. Eastern Europe. Is that the echo already? Well, I'll say in the night. I've only disgraced myself again. Ta-da, all. Dear.
Absolute Radio.
Oh, I came in a little bit suddenly. Phil, Agent, Marianne, we're with you shortly, but let's go live to Portugal. And Lindy. Hello, Portugal, Lindy.
Hello.
Oh, someone's been drinking, haven't they?
No, not much. Just a little bit.
Yeah, no, not much. You're sounding very tipsy, and dare I say it, Lindy, bit common.
Oh, but I'm posh Lindy, aren't I?
I know, but now you're sounding like as common as Mark, like a street urchin.
Oh, sorry.
God. No, don't. Hey, listen, don't apologise. We all like a bit of rough. Now, how is Portugal?
Well, I'm on the beach and I'm looking at the moon.
What?
The waves are crashing on the shore.
You are so pissed. Yes.
I'm not.
No.
I'm a bit tipsy,
Yeah, there we
admittedly.
go. Yes.
I'm not pissed.
No.
And it's lovely. It's really beautiful. But I really made a big mistake.
Oh.
I got to the airport today.
Yes.
And I gave in my boarding pass that I printed off.
Yeah.
For EasyJet.
Yeah.
And I should have flown yesterday. So I had to pay £260.
How did you get the day wrong, you idiot?
I don't know. I know. Absolute idiot. All my friends were there with me, and they'd all got the right date, and I'd got a day wrong, and
So you had to buy another ticket?
I had to buy another ticket, yeah.
Oh, my
What
God.
a fool. What a fool.
Flipping idiot, Lindy.
I know. Silly cow. Anyway. I'm here now.
Hooray. And what are you doing there?
Well, we're playing tennis. Not yet. Not at the moment. We're going to play tennis tomorrow,
Good,
and we're going to play tennis on Saturday, and we're going to play tennis on Sunday.
A lot of
And we
tennis.
brought our own tennis coach with us. And do you know what? It's a bit scary for him because there's 7 women, and he's the tennis coach.
I think by the end of the weekend he'll be asking for new balls, please.
Well, maybe. We've all brought new balls with us. Do you know what? Now I've started talking to you, I think I sound really pissed, don't I?
Yeah. Very.
Oh, well, never mind.
Never mind. So you're there for a tennis weekend?
Yeah. This is the 5th one we've done, yeah.
Okay.
So, are we going to have a tennis tournament?
Who?
Absolute Radio. You.
What?
You know you did that football thing?
Yes.
Well, let's do a tennis one.
Eloise, I need a little bit of help here dealing with a drunk woman. I don't know if you're able
I
to...
don't like tennis
Okay.
unless I'm watching it, so...
And I can't play tennis unless it's on
Okay.
the Xbox. So I'm kind of guessing that's a no-no. Unless all of the...
Oh.
I do like the tennis
This
outfits.
is part of her dream and wish, but...
Oh.
Yeah, it was part of my dream and wish. Thank
but I've
you.
decided that the first part is better, which is the picnic.
Okay, well, we'll do the first part then.
We'll do the picnic. Although it's winter now. We're officially in winter. Winter started at 10 o'clock yesterday morning.
Can we use one of those green huts that I don't know what the hell you're talking about, like cabbie shoes?
You've never seen the green huts?
No.
Oh, you open your eyes, and tomorrow the green huts will appear to you.
So what happens in them?
Well, the cabbies go in there and get food.
Are they toilets or food?
They're food. They're like cafes for cabbies.
Are they little, tiny?
It's a bit scary if you're confused between toilets and food, to be honest.
Well, it's not a problem I normally have. Really, I can tell the difference between a sausage and a poo. But Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad you're okay, Lindy. You will see them, Eloise. Tomorrow you will see them. Open your eyes and ask the god of cab to make them visible to you, and boy, oh boy, he will. By the way, you know that we are never going to be allowed to get a black cab ever again.
I think you won't.
Oh, don't you distance yourself from this. You were saying all of this when we got out of the cab.
Can you tell me what you're talking about? Because I'm a podcast listener.
Well, we're asking, should all foreigners be sent back home? Should we allow homosexuals in the army? And also, we are talking about black cab drivers.
Okay. I don't think you're really talking about the other things, but the black cab drivers, I kind of heard that because I was on the line for a while.
All right,
so.
don't have a go at me, Lindy. That's the way it works sometimes.
Okay, and also, yeah, I did spend quite a lot of money on a cab on Sunday night, but, you know, that's
Lindy,
fine.
I'm going to cut you off. Let's... That was a good noise. Like she's falling off a cliff. Adrian will come to you in a minute. Let's go to Phil Howard. Yes, Phil Howard.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
Oh, Phil's got a cob on.
No, not at all.
Okay, go on. Yeah, I'm fine, Phil. How you doing? You right?
I'm fine. I'm a black cab driver. 30 years of it.
Well done.
Yeah, I heard your comments earlier.
Yes.
And I'm surprised. I'm surprised. First of all, you mentioned about receipts.
Yes.
In my years of cabbying, I've been asked for blank receipts from people such as investment bankers and so forth. I have always stated investment bankers.
This is the thing. Can I just say, this is the thing. That
And
all
I've
the
never,
cab drivers are going to phone up and go, it's not me, Gov. Oh, it's not me, Gov. Well, exactly, of course they are, but we all know it happens.
Well, I can assure you, in my days as a black cabber, 30 years of being, I have never given a blank receipt.
I'm sure you never have, Phil.
An investment banker...
What's that got to do with it?
Has asked me to sell a book of blank receipts. I told him...
What's that got to do with anything?
There's no way I'm going to do it.
They make so much money.
I don't.
Because they write out the receipts and obviously claim whatever they want.
I know
to
how
claim.
it works, Phil, but I don't understand why you're telling me what his job has got. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, I'm just trying to give you an example.
Okay, but this is the thing. Oh, no cab driver's going to phone up and say, Ian, yeah, I give out blank receipts. I have had. I'm trying to think. I want to make sure I've got this statement correct before I say it. Yes. I have been given more blank receipts from black cabs than I've been given filled-out receipts.
Well, I can't answer that one.
No, of course you can't, because it's not you that does it, Phil. It's none of you cabbies that phone up that do it. Of course not. We must all be imagining it. We must all be imagining it.
Well, if you think there's something wrong, then obviously you're quite able to take one's number and report that person.
Oh, Phil, come on.
Right. Come on. And also, right, you talk about meters. The meters are fixed.
Okay, that's been established. We've established that. Well done.
Right,
Next.
and they go up at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, as you've been told.
Yep, excellent.
They're
Next.
sealed, and they are, they're checked, and various ones get pulled out the hatch.
You're telling me, Phil, that no black cabbie, sometimes goes a slightly longer route. You're telling me that doesn't happen?
Listen, I put my hands up. I have sometimes made a detour via traffic and problems like that.
That's not what I asked.
That's
not what I asked. That's not what I asked. You know that's not what I'm asking.
You're trying to tell me, am I making a journey longer than what it should be?
Oh, Phil, this is a really boring conversation because all you're going to say is, I've been driving a cab for 30 years, I've never done this. I've been driving a cab for 30 years, I've never done this. Well done. Congratulations. You must be the only honest cab driver out there then, Phil.
I'm telling you, I told you, I have made mistakes. Yes, I have made mistakes.
I'm not talking about mistakes. You know what I'm talking about, Phil, that some cab drivers deliberately go the long way round to get a bigger fare.
Well, I've made mistakes.
That's not what I'm asking about mistakes. I'm asking about deliberate detours. I'm not asking about mistakes.
No, I'm talking about I've made mistakes.
I'm not asking about... Phil, what has the word mistakes got to do with anything? I'm not asking about mistakes. I am talking about cab drivers deliberately ripping people off by going the long way round. Well, I've been driving for 30 years and I've never done that. Brilliant. Boring conversation.
Well, it might well be, but as I said to you before... If you feel...
Oh, I can't be bothered. I mean, really. Jesus. I've been a cab driver for 30 years. I'm sure, Phil. I'm sure. But come on. Get in the real world, mate. We all know this happens. We all know this happens. Right? that cab drivers sometimes, and I'm not saying you do it, Phil. You've been driving a cab for 30 years. You've never done it. Cab drivers rip people off. They go the long way sometimes. And I have had more blank receipts given than filled-in receipts. Fact. Absolute fact. 0330 123 1215. I'm angry now.
The radio station you have on at the moment is called
Absolute Radio.
It was a pretty standard British summer.
I reckon that he's talking rubbish, the fella. He's been a cab driver for 30 years, and he's never given out a blank receipt.
Have you, Danny?
Yeah.
Well done.
Phil, Danny's calling you a liar.
Because Danny's done it himself.
Of course I have, yeah.
Has Daddy been drinking?
I have been drinking, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Because I'm not working tonight. I work days. I've worked nights, I've worked days. I'm not working tonight, so I've had a drink.
How much had to drink, Danny?
Sorry?
How much had to drink?
Couple of cans of Stella. What difference does that make?
Well, it sounds like you've had a few more, mate.
Well, maybe I have. I've lost count.
Maybe you lost count. How many receipts you've handed out there, mate, eh?
I probably have, yeah, but, you know, there's always a bad apple in every profession. I've gone a long way round, and I've apologised. I've knocked money off the fare. What I'm fed up with is people,
Danny, mate, as I said to me earlier, I've made mistakes, and I've also knocked money off the fare, but, you know, perhaps we're not all perfect.
Of course we ain't. We ain't computers, we ain't robots, we're human beings.
Absolutely, mate, I totally agree. We're not all perfect.
We always get a bad press about what Iain was saying earlier, that £18 for this, it costs us £80 a day to go to work.
Yeah, but how many hundreds of pounds do you make?
Not as much as you.
Well, that's irrelevant. You should have got a job in. You should have got a job in the media if you can complain about my money.
Well, I didn't have that education to get that.
What education? What education do you think I've had?
I don't know.
Well, exactly. I grew up on a council estate, and I went and did a Mickey Mouse degree for 3 years after getting 1 A level. So, do you know what I mean? I'm not privileged. I'm not special. I'm not posh.
Iain.
Yes.
Iain, where do you think cab drivers came from? I came from a council estate.
I'm not saying they did, Phil. I'm not saying. What is wrong with you two muppets? One of you's drunk and one of you's a boring idiot. I didn't say anything about that. Danny has complained that he's not had the education that I had. What education, Danny?
I've had education of alcohol and drugs, and that's about it, and the knowledge.
What the education of alcohol and drugs?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means that I grew up on a council estate, and do you know what, Iain? I can't do this at the minute, but I know I've got an education. I've got a brain. I'm not stupid.
You're the one who just said you didn't have the education that I had.
I know what I said.
So you're coming across as stupid, Danny. Are you all right? You sound a little bit more wasted than a couple of cans of Stellas. What's going on?
Not a lot.
What have you done tonight? I'm worried about you.
We shouldn't be.
I am a little bit worried because you're sounding a bit more confused than perhaps you should be at this stage.
I am, because I listen to these people. The only cab driver who's phoned up with any sense is that fellow Jamie earlier.
Right.
Yeah? Like the sat nav.
Right.
I could say so much, but at the minute I can't because I am drunk. Yeah.
Yeah. And is getting drunk a regular thing for you, Danny?
It is. It's becoming more regular, yeah.
Well, do you not think maybe you should ease off a little bit?
Maybe.
Are you do you drink on your own?
What sort of question is that? What's that? That's nothing to do with cab driving, is it?
No, Danny, I'm concerned for you as a human being. Do you drink on your own?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you lie to your friends about how much you drink?
No, because I haven't got no friends.
Do you worry a little bit? Maybe you're drinking a bit too much, doing a bit too many drugs?
Maybe.
I'm not trying to trick you up here, Danny. I'm genuinely concerned for you, brother. Do you think maybe you should talk to someone about it? Danny? He's gone. Phil, thanks for calling back.
Thank you, mate.
Ta-ta. Danny's gone. That was a little bit sad, that.
Very sad.
That was a bit sad, that. Danny, listen. Oh, no, I don't know what's happened there. Danny, I wasn't trying to trip you up there, fella. I was deliberately, offering a hand there. You know, if you want to phone up and talk about it, then you're more than welcome to, and I won't take the mick or anything like that. It can be a bit scary at times. Adrian!
Hiya there, Ian.
Everybody's wasted tonight.
No,
but you're the
from
good
Yorkshire,
wasted.
kid.
You're the good wasted. Yes, Adrian.
Well, let me just open with this one, Ian.
Yes.
At least Dick Turpin wore a mask, didn't he?
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm ex-military.
Yeah.
And I'm from up north. And we used to travel through London.
Yeah.
And we used to come down to Euston. And there'd be black cabs there. And they'd get as many as you could in the cab with your Bergens and your kit bags and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And ferry across to Waterloo. And still charge it the same.
Yeah.
That's what they used to do. And it is, and then blank receipts, because we used to get.
Of course they do. They always give out blank receipts, and
Yeah, they did. Yeah, as many as you wanted.
For legal reasons, I have to say that I'm sure none of the drivers that have called in who have been named have done it.
I'll name them, Paul and Phil and stuff. And the other thing is, Ian.
Yes.
If you look into history.
Yes.
I believe an Hackney carriage, right?
Yeah.
If they haven't got a bale of hay in the boot.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay them.
Wow.
If they've got what in the boot?
That's one of them old
if they haven't got a bale of hay in the boot, you don't have to pay them?
Yeah, because it's still an Hackney carriage and they're supposed to have hay for horses.
Is that... I need to know if that's true.
Well, hey, check it out, kid.
But is it true in the same way that in the city of York you're allowed to shoot a Scotsman with a bow and arrow?
Hey, listen, I'm a longbowman, kid. I still practiced it, even from my great granddad were at Agincourt.
Right.
Yeah. So,
hey.
Yeah. Just shoot anybody with a longbow, innit? You just pull it back, and then you just let it go, innit?
Yes. Can I just say, here at Absolute, we do not condone the shooting of people with longbows. It really does go against everything we stand for. We stand for good music.
No, hey, I'm a Falklands veteran, Ian.
Okay.
I only do Argentinians, and I'm not racist.
Good
in
lad.
any way, shape, or form.
Of course you're not.
I really want to know about this hay bale, though.
Yeah, yes. Okay. I'm kind of curious about the Argentinians being shot with a longbow, but I think we should probably leave it there. Warren, Frank, Marianne, Tommy, we'll come to you after this. Psycho Killer, Talking Heads. Oh, Warren's angry. Sorry?
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Thank you very much.
No hard feelings, love.
Manatomicals, the new male grooming range. Available at larger boots and manatomicals.com.
Ian Lee on Absolute Radio.
0330 123 1215. Marianne and Tommy and Frank, we're coming to you shortly. First of all, let's go to Warren in Ireland. Hello, Warren.
Yeah, hello, mate. I'm not in Ireland. I'm in London. I'm a black cab driver.
It says Ireland on my screen for some reason.
No, she said, where am I from? And I said, Ireland. I'm actually working at the moment. I heard your comments about black cab drivers, and I don't think you've been fair at all. I'm not going to hold back like Phil. First of all, you don't have to give her a seat because we're not VAT registered. We do it because we want to. We pay for them ourselves.
The blank receipts. You give out blank receipts.
No, I don't give out blank receipts.
Well, this is it, Warren. This is the thing. None of you are going to phone up and say, "Oh, I do it." Of course you don't. It's always, "Oh, it's not me, Governor."
None of us
it's not
give out blank receipts, mate. They ask us for blank
receipts. That's a lie, Warren. That's a lie. What you've just said is
a
lie.
They ask us for a blank receipt. Can I have a blank receipt, mate? And can I have an extra one? That's what they asked us for.
Warren, the cab driver tonight said to me, "Do you want a couple of blank receipts, mate?"
Well, that's up to him. Well, I don't do it.
Right? Well, listen. Of course, you don't do it, but you have to accept that you have to accept. You have to accept. No, we're going to do this a point at a time. We're going to do this a point at a time, Warren. You're going to do what cab drivers aren't very good at doing. You're going to have to listen and have a conversation. You have to accept.
Oh, an uneducated man, are you?
Sorry.
You reckon you're an uneducated man?
I didn't say I'm uneducated.
Cab driver's uneducated.
I didn't say... Warren, we're going to
everyone
do
needs
this. We're going to do this. We'll come on to whatever random bullshine you're talking about education in a second. You have to accept that some cab drivers give out blank receipts without being asked for them.
Well, that's up to them.
OK, so it happens. Next point.
Right, the next point is, right, we work very hard, right, and we work hard to do the right thing. We try to bring people home the best and safest way possible and the straightest route, and we are trained to do that. If it happens that we have to go off route, that's so be it. The rates, the meters are set by the government.
Let's do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. OK.
Right.
So are you saying that no black cab driver has ever gone a slightly longer route to get a bigger fare?
Well, I haven't done it.
Listen, Warren, of course you've never done it. You've never done it. Of course you've never done it, Warren. Would you accept... Of course you haven't. Would you accept that some black cab drivers do that?
I would say so. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We've established the point about the meters, that they're set by the government. I apologise for getting that wrong. Next point.
Right. The other thing is that, you know how many things that black cab drivers do for people? We take people home drunk. We're not meant to take them home drunk, but we do, right? And we take people for nothing, and people don't have money, and we work really, really hard on unsociable hours. I've worked from 2 o'clock
sorry
this
for you.
Listen, mate.
I'm so sorry you work unsociable hours. You're the only people that work unsociable hours, aren't you, Warren? It's a hard life, mate.
Do you want to hear it or not? Do you want to hear it or not, man? Do you want to hear it or not?
Well, because a lot of what you're talking is complete bullshit. The number of times, the number of things, the number of times, Warren.
I worked from 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm still working now.
That's your job.
I've been working all week.
That's your job. Well done.
Your job is unsociable bullshit, isn't it?
Hey, watch your language, fella. That's a yellow card.
You just swore at me.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I said bullshine. Watch your language.
Right. Well,
this is what you're not very good at as a black cab driver. You're not good at listening.
You're going to start narrating. Do you know what? I'm going to tell you something, right?
And then you're going to hang up.
Most black cab drivers listen to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Most black cab
drivers... No, they don't. They listen to
you.
TalkSport and LBC, but carry on.
No, they don't.
Most of them listen to TalkSport. Most of them listen to TalkSport and LBC.
Absolute radio, on the whole, is a very good radio station.
There we go.
Right?
Now, on the whole, apart from when I'm on, they're going to all switch off now. OK, brilliant.
Philosophies about black cab driving.
OK.
I tell you what you should do. You should put your money where your mouth is and go and do a knowledge for 6 months.
Oh, get
and then
stuffed.
come back and tell us how easy it is.
Right? Listen, Warren, I've never said... Warren, are you going to hang up? Are you going to listen? You're going to hang up or you're going to listen? Warren, I never said the knowledge was easy.
You don't like the truth.
You've not spoken the truth. You're talking out your ass. I've never said the knowledge was easy. When did I say the knowledge was easy?
You know what? You should listen to yourself,
Warren,
mate.
answer the question.
You contradict yourself all the
Warren,
time.
answer the question. I got talked about education. You've brought up education. What are you talking about education for? You've got a rude, ill-mannered little man who doesn't listen. I've not mentioned education. You brought it up. When did I say the knowledge was easy?
You are just
answer the question. Answer the question.
It's a very highly skilled trade,
Warren,
which we work hard
Warren,
for.
answer.
Lots
Warren,
of my
calm
friends have
down.
lost their families
Calm
and
down.
houses and everything to get this badge.
Calm
this
down.
badge is very hard to
Warren,
get, mate.
calm
and
down.
You've just destroyed our trade.
Warren.
And I think you're a despicable person.
Warren,
right?
calm
If
down.
you can spell
Warren,
that, right? Despicable is what...
D-E-S-P-I-C-A-B-L-E. When did I say the knowledge was easy?
I don't know. I've just listened to a couple
Well,
of
exactly. You don't know.
Tonight.
You don't know because I didn't say it, Warren.
I've just listened to your absolute... You're getting around... You're skirting around the edges of slagging our trade off.
No, I'm not skirting around the edges. I've made very clear all the points I dislike about your thieving trade.
You know, there's a lot of cab drivers out there that work very hard.
Oh, for
and they
God's
work,
sakes.
and you know, and they are.
Let me
on
get
this,
my
right?
violin out. Let me get my violin out because none of you weren't cashing out. None of you make a load of money.
I'll do this, that, and the other. But I tell you what, the majority of us are pretty cool people.
Cool.
You know what? I don't think one of us will pick you up ever again.
Well, do you know what,
that?
Warren? A lot of you don't anyway, because a number of times I've stopped a cab with the yellow light on. Oh, yeah, I'm not going that way, mate. You're not allowed to do that, but yet you still do. You still do. Not me. I don't do it. I'm Warren. Warren, listen.
When were you so judgmental? I mean, I've listened to your shows before. You actually are a very judgmental person.
Yep.
And you talk a lot as well.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And Warren, you don't listen to anything that's being said.
No,
You don't
I
listen to anything that's being said.
You don't listen to anybody but yourself, my son, right?
I'm listening to you, Warren. Talk
the
nonsense.
only person that you just listen to, right, is yourself. Because what you've done with is out of order, right? And you know that guy that was talking, the squaddy, let's get this in while I'm here,
Oh,
right?
no, Warren, we're not going off on a tangent. Warren, listen.
Every time I pick the serviceman up, I give him a free ride, mate.
Oh, good
So
for you,
you're out of
Warren.
order.
Well, what Why am I out of order for? Because you'll give a squaddy a free ride.
We give them free rides.
Oh, for
we
God's sakes!
We do a lot for people, right?
Oh, Jesus,
and
Warren, you're pathetic. You're pathetic.
No, you're a sanctimonious asshole. That's
there
what
we
you
go,
are.
Warren. Okay.
Right, you are a
okay.
sanctimonious
arsehole.
asshole.
A sanctimonious arsehole, yeah.
And I tell
because
you,
you give.
worth listening to
because
is Ronnie bloody Wood. That's the only guy with a bit of decorum.
What has Ronnie Wood got?
Style,
what has Ronnie Wood got to do with this?
Ronnie Wood is the guy that can run that radio station.
What has Ronnie Wood got to do with this, Eloise?
I have no idea.
I've got no idea. What have given free rides to squaddies and Ronnie Wood got to do with anything?
He's still going.
I know he's still going.
He's the music bed.
He's wittering away. He's not listening to a word I'm saying, so there's no point even talking to him. I've got no idea. I've got no idea what Ronnie Wood and giving free rides to squaddies have got to do with anything. At no point this evening did I say that the knowledge was easy. At no point have I said the knowledge is easy. The knowledge
no, it definitely isn't.
The knowledge is incredibly hard. You've got to learn all the streets in London.
And not even that. They have to learn like little facts and
interesting
things. Like
it's
one cabbie told me
hard.
a great story about a little mouse that is on one of the windowsills round Trafalgar Square, and he learned that in the knowledge. And I think that's amazing.
It's amazing. It's an amazing skill to have learnt all that. But then you get people with attitudes. The problem with Warren, and it's a problem that a lot of black cab drivers have, is they don't listen to what is being said to them. They can't engage in a conversation. So all they do is they try and shout over you and talk to you, and they're rude. Now, of course, there are excellent black cab drivers. Of course there are, and there are excellent people that have learnt the knowledge and do all this. But you have to admit that a lot of them give out blank receipts without being asked for. The guy tonight gave me 2 blank receipts. I didn't ask for them. The point about free...
I'm a witness to that.
You're a witness to that?
Yeah.
A lot of them go longer routes when they don't need to rip people off. And I've still got no idea. I've still got no idea what Ronnie Wood.
Cut me off, you tosser.
I've still got no idea what Ronnie. And this is how obnoxious they are. These people are out on the streets of London driving vehicles. What Ronnie Wood and giving free rides to Afghanistan soldiers have got to do with squaddies. Have got to do with anything whatsoever. He's gone now. He's put the phone down.
Yeah. I mean, that's very nice, but it's not the point in question.
What's that got to do? I do stuff for charity. So what? I give up my time and do things. What's the relevance to that? It's like me having an argument with the cabbie and going, yeah, but I go and work with sick children once a week. Well, that's irrelevant to the conversation. So
I'm interested in the Ronnie Wood point, though.
Ronnie Wood is excellent. I can't argue that. Ronnie Wood is probably... He's definitely one of the top 3 things on this station, if he's not the best thing. Definitely. I can't argue with that fact, but I don't see the relevance.
To a cabbie.
I don't see the relevance. And also, cab drivers don't listen to this. A few cabbies do, but mainly they listen to TalkSport and LBC. I know that, because I used to work at LBC, and I know, and I get in cabs, and I hear it. I've got no idea what that was about. If you want to phone up and have a debate and a conversation, brilliant. We'll do that, but going off on tangents like that. We'll do Marianne, then we play a record. Hello, Marianne.
Hello, Ian.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it, eh?
That was fabulous. What a lovely man.
Oh, unbelievable. I pray to God I don't get in his cab one day. Jeez.
I don't think you've got any worries. I don't think he's going to stop for you.
No, I don't think he is. Listen, there are a lot of good cab drivers. Of course there are. But there are a lot of dodgy ones. And I earn all right money. I can't afford to get a cab very often. If I'd known the cab tonight...
I definitely can't afford to get a cab.
If I knew the cab tonight was going to be 18 quid, I would have said, let's leave 15 minutes early and we'll get the bus or get the tube. I wouldn't, Anyway, yes, Marianne, yes.
Since I've been living in Cornwall, I have had 2 taxis. I've been living here 11 years now.
Yeah.
And the first taxi was an 8-mile journey. It cost me £25.
Wow.
After 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And when we flew back into Newquay Airport to home, which is 12 miles, they charged us £40 and they went all over the world to get here.
40 quid?
40 quid.
And did you say anything to them?
I'd just come back from New York with my mother.
Yeah.
Because my brother lives there, so I've taken her to see my brother.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and she just said to me, just don't say anything.
No. It's quite intimidating, isn't it, to kind of bring something like that up?
Well, if she knows what I'm like, I would
you'd kick off.
I would have kicked off big time.
Did you give him a tip, Marianne?
No. No way.
The look of death you get when you don't give them a tip is just, it's incredible. It's like they've trodden on a piece of poo in the street.
Well, I just couldn't believe it was a lady driver, and I just couldn't believe the fact that she obviously thought that we were coming to visit somebody here because I've obviously got a South London accent.
Yeah, so you didn't know your way
And she thought
around.
she's not going to know how to get from Newquay to Blackwater. And I was just like, where the hell are you taking us?
Yeah.
But yes, I totally agree with you with New York. They're amazing.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah, I landed there once and it was really, really thick snow.
Yeah.
And the guy, my brother just moved. I didn't know where his place was. I just gave this guy the address, and he was really good because he didn't know, and he kept stopping other taxis, and he was phoning my brother and getting directions, and finally got us to where we were going to, and didn't charge us any more. It was supposed to be like 3/4 of an hour in the taxi, and it was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But he still only charged us whatever it was supposed to be, and I gave him a really good tip because he'd gone out of his way.
In Japan, the cabs in Tokyo are amazing, right? Because they've got automatic doors, so the doors open, and all the drivers wear white gloves and peaked caps, and you don't tip them. If you tip them, they take offence.
Yeah,
Fantastic!
It's an insult,
Fantastic!
Yeah, I think that's what I think people should get decent wages, so you don't have to bother with tipping, because that is the one thing that really does my brain in when I go to New York.
Marianne, it's lovely to talk to you. Thank you very, very much for that. I still can't get over Warren. That was an amazing phone call. If you've just tuned in, man, you've got to go and download the podcast just for Warren. Incredible! He's still listening. Hello, Warren. You right, fella? Tommy, Frank, be with you after this.
Don't give up, you're gonna see tomorrow that you'll be on your feet again. And you're gonna run again.
It's quite angry, the show tonight. I don't know why. There's loads of people calling out. Let me just see what happened. Let me just try some of these calls at random. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Ian?
Yes.
Ian, is that me?
Is that you?
Yeah, me, Vinny.
Yes, Vinny.
Right, I'm a cab driver.
Right.
Right, you're right, you're dead right, mate. I agree with everything you say. That little urchin, what's his name, Warren?
Yes, Warren the urchin.
An idiot.
He was very rude, wasn't he?
What an idiot, honestly. I can't believe it, but you're right. Yeah, I'll give you black receipts.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, people do, and it's illegal and it's corrupt, but people do.
But it's not illegal. I don't think it's illegal. If I'll give you a receipt, you want 10 receipts, you want a book of receipts.
Yeah.
You give me a £5, I'll give you what you want.
There you go, you see.
But you're right. I mean, what's wrong with it?
Thank you very much for calling. Let's go to line 2. 2, you're on the wireless. Nope, you're too slow. Let's go to line 3. 4, you're on the wireless. Hello, line 4.
I'm a cab driver as well.
Yes.
And I totally agree that Warren was a plank. Without doubt.
What's your name, fella?
I don't want to say because I've got mates listening and I'll get abused.
Let's call you Cabbie Colin. Cabbie Colin, right? There is no way that me, little old me, sitting in a tiny radio studio, is going to bring down the black cab profession, am I?
No, of course you
You guys are tougher than that.
No, but hold on. You do the same thing. You do the same thing. Think about it. You're on a premium rate telephone line.
No, we're not premium rate.
Is it not premium?
No, I think we're local, aren't we, Eloise?
Yeah, it's a landline.
It's a landline.
Oh, was it a landline?
So,
but this, no, that's fair enough. But this...
We're not Talk Sport. Talk Sport might be. We're not.
Listen, this thing, hold on, I don't listen to Talk Sport. It's like talking to Ken Livingstone. There's 2 things I don't do, and they're the 2 of them. But this thing about, do we hand out blank receipts? Yeah, I've been handing them out today. I ain't got a pen. I've handed out blank receipts. But I'll tell you something what we don't do, and what I've never seen, I've not known a cab driver do, take it a long way on purpose.
Okay. Well,
gospel.
Okay. Well, I have heard from the friends of mine that have come from abroad, but actually know their way around London, that they have been given a little bit of a runaround.
Yeah, but you do get paranoid passengers. You do get the, you're going, I won't go this way.
I believe this fella.
You're not my dad, are you? You sound like my old man.
Do I? Well, I might have known your mum. I don't know.
Steady. You cheeky little sausage.
I like Cabbie Colin.
Yeah, I like Cabbie Colin. Listen, you have done, in the last 5 minutes, you have done more to change my opinion on the black cab industry for the better than any of the others, particularly Warren, have done. So well done, Cabbie Colin.
Jamie did a good job too.
Jamie did a good job as well, but Cabbie Colin's the one.
You've got to remember there's 24,000 of us out there. Do you know what I mean?
And two of you are decent, it turns out.
Sorry?
It turns out that 2 of you are decent.
Now, there's more than 2. There's a lot more than 2, believe me. Anyway, I'm
Yes,
going to go. Say hello to your mum for me, all right?
All right, Dad, ta-ta afterward. You that laugh.
I loved him.
He was good, wasn't he? Tommy, Frank, be with you after this, and then we'll take some calls straight away.
Absolute Radio is our name.
Absolute Radio.
Welcome.
So let's just calm down, shall we? Let's all calm down. It's nearly the weekend, for God's sakes. Polly's on at 1 o'clock. That'll calm you down, won't it? Probably get some of you a bit too excited at 1 o'clock in the morning. But, by the way, if you've not listened to Polly after us at 1 o'clock, she's on 1 till 6. I'm not suggesting you listen to the whole thing. It'd be crazy if you've not been to bed yet. But, you know, it's definitely worth listen to. She's excellent. And, you know, you can fall asleep with the radio on. I like falling asleep with the radio on and then kind of waking up about 4:30 and being a bit confused and there's some odd bit of music playing or some strange person talking and it's all a bit surreal. So do stick around for that. Tommy's in Liverpool. Hello, Tommy.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, sir. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I'm just, when I first phoned up a long time ago, I've changed my mind on a few things, but Warren he's going to get famous, you know, after that.
Well, possibly. I don't know for the right reasons, though.
Yeah, but I know that all people in all jobs will always want a bit more.
Right.
I mean, people in jobs will always want a bit more. Like, I'm in Liverpool right now.
Yes.
And last year, now, I'm not knocking cabbies everywhere, but you know there's good and bad in everyone.
Yeah.
And they work a hard job. And I know I do the same. Right thought I could make a quick buck on a night where it's a bit like iffy.
Yeah.
Last year it was really, really icy and snowy and stuff. Me and my friends were going home one night and we managed to get a cab.
Yeah.
Right? And what happened with them was a taxi pulled up and he said, listen, now the normal fare that we normally had was something like £17 or whatever it was, to drop everyone off safe and sound and in. But then the man said to us, we were knee-deep in snow, he said, no, I need to know that you're going to give me £50 on top of the money because if I get any damage to this cab, and we went, oh, God help us. So we give him a £5 note and said, sorry for stopping you.
Yeah.
And then my friend turned up in his Jeep and took us, and the taxi driver gave us the reversed victory sign, because we've got to be careful,
yes.
don't use any bad language.
No.
Now, God bless all taxi drivers, because I know it's difficult, but not all of them are saints.
Tommy, you make an excellent point. Thank you very much for that. Let's take some calls straight to air for the last 10 minutes of the show, shall we? Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hi, Ian, it's Claudia.
It's Claudia!
Hello!
We saw, for those who don't know, we made Claudia's dream sort of come true by getting her into the E17 concert. We didn't get to go backstage and meet them because we had to leave. But did you stick around for the after-show party?
I did, not for the after-show party, but I stayed around for the full set, and they were so good, weren't they?
They were great.
You enjoyed it, didn't you?
I did enjoy it, but you got a little bit carried away with your T-shirt and your knockers and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently you flashed your boobs. I missed that. Eloise told me you flashed them.
No, I didn't.
She
boobs, not nude boobs.
No, what did she do,
No,
Eloise?
not
You said that you were saying to her that she's taller than she thought. She goes, yes, but I've still got the boobs, and did like a little woo.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that.
But there were no nipples.
No, okay, good. You haven't got any nipples? Wow. Some people
No,
don't.
no.
That must be
Well,
weird.
I'm going
to
have.
put my audio on now.
It's pretty weird.
But you had fun, did you, Claudia?
I had really, really, really had fun. Thank you very much. I was just calling to say thank you to both of you. It was really, really brilliant.
Pleasure. It was good. It was good. I'm sorry we couldn't. They started you don't start a gig at 10:45 at night.
Well, not if you're E17.
No,
I mean, come on.
Come on, guys. For
Come
God's
on.
sake.
They should have been on there, 6:30.
Do you want to say hello to my good friend Verinda?
Oh, yeah, go on then.
Vinny, say hello to Claudia.
Yeah, hello.
Hi,
Claudia.
Vinny. The transfer window is closed.
Yeah, that was about a few weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was the last time we spoke.
Oh yeah. So how's things?
Yeah. No, well, they were good. I mean, I went to see E17. They were amazing.
Yeah, they were right in it.
Well, you don't know that because you weren't there. But I'm telling you that they were really, really good.
I mean, the band, they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, they were there, yeah. Well, 3 of them. There was a fake one there called Blair, who was replacing Brian.
Blair had a fantastic set of breasts, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but, I mean, that's all he had,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
How many members were they?
3 original members and 1 new one.
How many members would you like to see in one go, Vinny?
Oh, I don't know.
Because you're going to see 2 members on stage on Monday night.
Yeah. First of all, weren't there 5 members originally?
No.
No.
You're thinking of Take That, you muppet.
That's definitely not.
All right. Okay. Anyway, Ian. Yeah.
Sorry, Claudia, you've been edged out of this conversation.
Yeah, shall I say goodbye?
Goodbye, Claudia. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Amazing to meet you. Thank you again.
Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Vinny, she's a nice person. You could learn a lot from her, Vinny.
All right. I don't care.
Okay.
I heard you were criticising TalkSport's phone charges.
Yeah, because their phone charges are much more expensive than ours, and they don't call you back.
Yeah, but at least when you're ringing in, you don't get charged for the ringtone.
Well, you don't get charged for the ringtone.
Yeah, you do.
Well, no, you don't, because that's not the actual ringtone. You come through, so you know you've got through, and then you go to the ringtone. But that ringtone is part of the phone call.
Yeah, all right. No, it's not. It shouldn't be, though.
Well, it is, because you've already come through. The way it works, you dial 0330 123 1215. You come through to kind of like the recorded switchboard. Then you press button 1, and then that takes you to the ringtone. So you know that you've entered. I'll finish the point, Vinny. You know that you've then entered the system, and so as soon as you hear Russ Williams' voice, you're paying for that call.
Yeah, all right. I know you're paying for that call, but that shouldn't be happening. What there should be happening, there should be a number that goes straight to the studio.
Well, the ringtone is going through to the studio. And also, Talk Sport is more expensive to be on the line than our show and our station. And Talk Sport don't call you back. We call you back.
Yeah, they don't have equivalent of the Russ Williams.
We call you back.
Is it just you?
What do you mean, is it just me?
I mean, it does say Cristiano O'Connell call you back, or do you have to stay on the line when you're ringing in? Hello?
I'm fed up with all these taxi drivers spouting out ill-informed opinions and being narrow-minded.
Yeah, nobody cares about you.
I think they should all be
I don't
cut
really
in
give a
half with
damn.
a fine, and then
Stop,
they might
stop,
learn to
you
be
fool.
reasonable and open-minded.
No.
Kolor baleva penimach nefesh Yehudi homiya ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvateinu hatikva bat shnot alpayim.
Yeah, I'm fed up with you. I mean, this doesn't stop. When is this going to stop? Is it stopped? That's it, yeah?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, right, I finally got through.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Ian Lee.
Uh-huh. Are you a cab driver?
No, I'm not a cab driver. That's the one thing I'm not. I've been really, absolutely crazy about what he's been through tonight, with people being so terribly horrible to him.
Yeah, that's because he's terribly horrible to other people as well. Yeah.
So basically, I'm not drunk. I'm not anything.
Well, you seem a
I'm
bit drunk to me.
I've got mental health issues.
Yeah. So,
Hello?
yeah.
Vinny,
Uh-huh.
you don't know what you're talking about.
About
Seriously, you don't know what you're talking about.
what? About what?
Talk sport.
Yeah.
About them charging you lots of money.
Yeah, I know the charge probably is more expensive, but there's one thing that don't.
Yeah,
don't
but hang on. Stop right there. I've worked on the switchboards at Talksport, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And A, they do ring you back. And B,
Yeah.
if you get told the charges before you carry on the call. So I'm sticking up for them.
Yeah, so was I. It was Ian that was abusing them.
Well, no, but you were saying how expensive the calls were.
Well,
But you have an
fair,
option. If
but
you
to
want
be
to go
fair-
and buy a Rolls Royce, you go and buy a
go on.
Rolls Royce. It's going to cost you lots of money. If you want to buy a Mini, then it's not going to cost you so much money. The choice is yours.
Yes, I know.
So stop whining, really.
I'm not whining. You
sorry
not
life.
I'm whining.
Move like Cajun tigers, oh, we couldn't get closer than this.